Guys, coming up on the vlog, Gav and I are back with this month in venture. There is so much going on both in and out of Australia. F1 is huge, and for all those pricks vandalizing Tesla, I got some beef to talk with you. But first, a word from Luna. Hey guys, real quick, before we start the next vlog, I want to bring you up to speed on a really cool company. Startups and scale-ups, check this out. weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off. These guys have been doing it for as long as the dinosaurs have roamed Earth. And if you mention this vlog, they'll give you $200 credit towards your first kickoff. Guys, we're going to be quick today. Gav's only parked in a 15-minute spot.
We're going to start at the top with the big capital raises from the past month.
Yep.
Starting with prop hero, artificial intelligence, real estate startup raising $25 million at 100 mil val, including Bailador. Remember 2 years ago, Bailador didn't write one check, and then they've slowly started deploying capital again. So there must be some confidence in the market.
Yep.
Wellness startup Sonda raised $40 million from Blackbird, from Seek, from Host Plus. So another big check coming through.
Yeah, incredible.
GP admin startup Heidi Health raised a further $27 million on top of their $10 million Series A.
That was their second raise, right?
Their second raise was an extension of their Series
Okay.
A. So everybody, whether it's an up round, a down round, an extension round, it's the number one objective for these founders is not to run out of money. So if they want to do an extension on their 10 mil Series A and the investors are happy to go, happy days.
Let's go.
Strongroom AI yesterday announced that they make software for startups. They announced a $17 million raise. So if you look at just those four raises, that's almost $100 million or more if I'm getting my maths right. Maybe a little less, but it's a good way to start today's vlog.
I like it. And with that,
we have 13 minutes left in my car spot.
yes, keep going. We have exits.
So there are some exits that are popping up on the radar, which is great. The most notable one over the past month is Local Measure, which exited to Zendesk for $100 million. Incredible. I don't know whether you know Local Measure, but they've had, it's been about 12, 13 years since they were founded. They had some tough times during COVID, but they've come through with the goods, and Jonathan and the team have done a great outcome for their shareholders.
Fantastic. What we talked about Telstra Ventures a couple of pods back. They renamed their name to Titanium, but have since now exited.
Telstra have divested their full stake in Telstra Ventures, which became Titanium Ventures. So they're obviously refocusing on their core. And VC is something that they've put off to the side. They returned, I think we discussed this late last year, they returned over $1 billion to their investors during the time that they were part of that VC fund.
And so that blows my mind, and that's not part of core?
New CEO, new strategic imperative.
Our boys from Atlassian, Scott Farquhar, is...
the fifth richest person in Australia.
Yep.
His ex-co-CEO of Atlassian was in the paper over the past couple of days.
Yeah.
People just aren't happy where he's
tormented. He's tormented with his private jet.
I think it was Rear Window on AFR came out and they said he's got his private jet now, he's got his Formula One team, and he's a climate warrior, so how do those things reconcile? So he posted out an article on LinkedIn which tried to reconcile all of that, which has resulted in like 7 or 8 other articles.
There you go.
But Scott has become the chair of Tech Council of Australia, taking over from Robin Denham, who is the chair of Tesla.
Tesla, yeah. Is she still with Tesla?
She's still with Tesla. So hopefully Scott has big impact with the government to get some good outcomes for the tech industry and keep it thriving.
Microsoft, Skype.
This is big. Did you ever use Skype?
Oh man. You know what I loved about Skype? Skype actually made a ton of money on the float, because you'd put money into these accounts back in the day, and I would never burn down. I think there's still $10 sitting on my Skype account now.
Skype pioneered making calls on the internet 23 years ago. Microsoft purchased them for $8.5 billion, and today Microsoft are choosing Teams over Skype, and Skype is being sunsetted in a couple of months' time. That's big news.
It's massive.
Back when I was building these offshore development teams in Malaysia and all this kind of stuff, I would use Skype to connect with my family. It was like all pixelated. It was like early days.
I had a US phone number that people would call that would then redirect. Yeah, it's amazing.
Look at this guy. Yeah. All right, global fintech now, Stripe.
Oh, yeah.
Stripe just did a secondary round at $91 billion US, which is this close to the $95 billion valuation they had in 2021.
Those guys are amazing. I heard them last week on the All In Pod. Oh, just what a story, mate.
They released their annual letter, so similar to Amazon and others, or Jeff Bezos, they released these annual letters on the state of the market. They spoke about AI and various other things like that, but what was most interesting is that they grew a whopping 38%. $14 trillion, equivalent to 1.3% of global GPD.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I think they said they were doing over $1 trillion a month in transactions.
Unbelievable. Well, that is.
Yeah.
1 trillion times 12 is 12 trillion. 14 trillion is more than 1 trillion a month.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Bang.
That's amazing.
There you go.
Do you want to talk about your friend's Tesla?
Well, I don't know where to go on this, to be honest. It's firstly, it's hurting me on the stock side.
Yeah.
But I'm about to load up even more because I feel like it's at least 20 or 75% off at the moment.
So unless you've been living under a rock, Elon Musk is best friends with Donald Trump, the president of the US. Elon Musk has been appointed head of the DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiencies. A lot of Americans are not happy with what they're doing, the checks and balances they're bringing into the US, the chaos that's coming in the US, and they've started vandalizing Tesla stores, supercharging network, and Teslas and Cybertrucks all over the US.
So this pisses me right off, to be honest with you.
Because their share price halved in
forget about the
size?
shares. I'm not into politics at all, Gav, but I'm into humanity. I want to see good people win. And what pisses me off is what Elon is doing in the DOGE role is finding out where government has misspent and trying to recall some of the cash that's going out the door. They have found over 5 million 150-year-old pluses still sitting on Social Security. 5 million.
So what happened?
It blows my mind. And what blows my mind even more is Elon's exposing it, going, hey, here's the truth. And people are like, Elon's stealing. He doesn't need their money.
So with all this vandalism that happened with the Teslas, Elon and Donald Trump decided to line up a Cybertruck, a Model S, a Model Y on the White House lawn. And of course, Trump bought a Model S Plaid. But let's go back. It seems like we're talking about fast cars and Model S's. Formula One weekend.
Oh, yeah, I saw Dom Price.
It was carnage out there in Australia, in Melbourne.
Yeah, I saw Dom Price actually taking photos and Insta stories from the Atlassian.
Correct, yep. So at the end of the last vlog, we announced that Atlassian are the new name sponsors of the Williams Racing team. So it's Atlassian Williams Racing now. And yesterday was carnage out there with the rain and everything like that. But what was most interesting, Nick Crocker posted out, who's one of the general partners at Blackbird, posted out all the collaborations between all these racing teams and Australian startups. So whether it's Rockton Red Bull, Airwallex and McLaren,
Yep.
Atlassian and Williams, Steak and Sauber, however you pronounce it, Safety Culture and Haas. I mean, there's like 10 or 11 Australian scale-ups and massive tech companies that are
loving F1.
Loving F1. We love F1. F1 was good.
I love basketball.
All right, that's a wrap.
I love the Phoenix.
We're done.
Yeah. Are we done? Okay.
We wrap up.
Gav's got to go get his car. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you
guys.
later.
Bye.